great people's movement, African Americans, North and South, both enslaved and free, transformed America during the Civil War. They turned the war over the Union into a fight for freedom, resulting in the emancipation of 4 million enslaved African Americans. Yet at the outset of war, few could have imagined this outcome. The South fought to expand slavery without government interference. The North fought to preserve the Union, leaving slavery and its profits intact. Abraham Lincoln, in his first inaugural address, emphasized, "I have no purpose, directly or indirectly, to interfere with the institution of slavery in the states where it exists." But African Americans were resolved to end slavery once and for all. Frederick Douglass wrote in 1861, "Let the slaves and free colored people be called into service and formed into a liberating army to march into the South and raise the banner of emancipation." In fact, African Americans had already begun to act. 3 enslaved men, Shepard Mallory, Frank Baker, and James Townsend, crossed Union lines and entered Fort Monroe. They declared themselves free. Tens of thousands followed suit. Each time the United States Army advanced, enslaved African Americans ran towards freedom within Union lines. Union General John Eaton recalled, "Imagine an army of slaves and fugitives pushing its way irresistibly toward an army of fighting men. Their arrival among us was like the oncoming of cities." Unwilling to violate slaveholders' property rights, the United States hesitated. Instead of emancipating the fugitives from slavery, the government declared African Americans contraband of war, enemy property, and put them to work for the Union Army. President Lincoln witnessed this mass movement as he rode through the city of Washington each day. The actions of African Americans helped convince him to issue the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1863, an order that freed those living in Confederate states. The Civil War became a battle for freedom. The United States military opened up its ranks to African American soldiers who became, in essence, a liberating army. Wearing the uniform of the United States, Black soldiers consciously built a foundation for citizenship and voting rights, long denied to African Americans North and South. Almost 180,000 Black soldiers served in the most brutal battles of the war. They risked their lives, even though they faced harsh discrimination. Susie King Taylor, a Union nurse, remembered, "The first colored troops did not receive any pay. Finally, the government decided to give them half pay, but the men would not accept this. They wanted full pay or nothing." Joining the fight for freedom, women and children built schools, nursed the sick and wounded, and provided food and shelter, extending the groundwork for a free society. Through their strength and resilience, African American men, women, and children changed the tide of the war. Through their words and actions, they changed the course of our nation.